Hey, good day YouTube. It's Maurice over at Nulu Tool. Today I'm talking about our DeWalt push mower. So the model number for this mower is DCMWP600 and the model number for the self-propelled version is DCMWP600. But before we get started on the push mower, I did want to commemorate a couple of things with regards to the Nulu Tool channel. First of which is I did just surpass 100 subscribers, so I wanted to say thank you for everyone that has subscribed, as well as everyone that will subscribe. And I just wanted to say, please keep subscribing, please keep sharing, liking, and commenting on the videos. This mower actually signifies the 1 year. Well, it's a 1 year review of the mower to begin with, but it's also the channel itself is a year old as well. And this mower was actually the first piece of equipment that I started to shoot content around. So if you go back and look at the video of me unboxing this mower, you can see that I think the camera angle was completely wrong. I had it in the upright position as if it were a short and turned it into a video. And then also there was no vocal, no sound in the video. It was just me opening up a box. So you can see the maturation that's occurred over the past 365 days as far as this channel is concerned. So for all that have seen that video and any other videos since then, thank you for sticking with me through that time. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump into some specifics about this mower. All right, so some of the first things we'll talk about here is first the price. Last year I bought this mower for right around $650, I believe. It came with two 9 amp hour batteries, 2 chargers, the mower, you get the bag, you get the mulch kit, you get the side chute. I think that's about it as far as what all comes in the box. I bought it when I bought it because of tariffs. I noticed that the price of everything, or specifically this mower, was starting to kind of climb. So I believe I actually paid a little over $700 for it, but I was able to get it price comped because Acme Tools had it for less than what Home Depot had it for. So I was able to get it for a little bit less than that at the time. But now it is a steady $720 in just the past year. And I believe that when it first became available on the market, it was well under $600. So that just kind of shows you how quickly the price has escalated on not only this tool, but a number of higher class tools and whatnot. The reason why I bought this mower was because I wanted to get away from gas. I had a Aaron's riding mower that I used at my house for about the previous 3 or 4 summers. It took up a lot of space in my garage. I had to constantly go keep it fueled with gas, and I was either buying 1 gallon of gas at a time, being able to pour it in, or buying a 5-gallon container of gas and struggling to pour 1 of the gallons in. So that was just a headache that I was just kind of done with at that point. And then I just didn't want the fumes of gas in my garage kind of constantly lingering. So I wanted to go ahead and switch over and get a battery powered mower. I also already owned I would guesstimate about 20 different Flexvolt batteries at that point in time. So it only made sense for me to go ahead and get a Flexvolt mower because I've got a Flexvolt blower, a Flexvolt string trimmer, and those pieces of outdoor power equipment have been very, very good to me over the years that I've lived in this home. So I opted for the Flexvolt version. I actually specifically waited for this version to come available on the market before I bought. So I think I gave it about another extra year because you may know when these first hit the market, there was some issues. I'm not sure exactly what they were, but there were some issues with not being able to stop the mower once you release the handle mechanism here. And there was a massive recall on the mower, so it kind of pushed their entry date into the market back about a good year, so I had to wait on it. Some of my initial thoughts upon first starting to use the mower last year were, I was overall happy with it. I think the cut quality is pretty impeccable. However, I was concerned with some of the durability, especially in like the wheels and handle and some of the plasticky parts. The deck itself is made of 15 gauge steel, so I don't think that that's, there's no durability issues from that standpoint. I think it has a strong motor, but when it comes to the wheels and some of the handle parts, it does feel a bit plastic, or it's plastic, so therefore it feels a little bit like a toy to me. I think that the overall lightweightedness of the mower kind of contributes to the fact that it feels more like a toy than a piece of power equipment. However, over the past year, I have not run into any durability issues in those specific areas. I do have a warranty claim that I have just started to process because whenever the mower is in the storage position and I open it up and telescope the handle up, I do have an issue getting it to start on the first attempt. Usually takes me about 10 attempts to close the handle, open it, close it, open it, close it, open it, and eventually the storage indicator light does go off and I'm able to use the mower. That's been going on for about the past month that I've had the mower this year. So what I've done is I basically just kept it in the operating position, so I haven't put it in the fold-up storage position, just so I don't have to run into that issue when I want to go and cut the grass, because it is kind of a nuisance. And like I said, I did just put in a warranty claim on it earlier this week, so I'm getting ready to box it up and ship it back to the service center and kind of see what DeWalt ends up doing about it or with it, or whether they give me a brand new mower, or if they just repair whatever the issue is. I'm still kind of up in the air on what that's going to be. Hopefully, for time's sake, I just get a new mower so I don't become stuck without a mower for more than a week or so. So as far as runtime goes on this mower, on the box it does say that you can get 80 minutes of runtime with the two 9 amp hour batteries that it comes with. I would say that that's probably about accurate. However, I typically tend to use my 15 amp hour batteries, and that the runtime that I get from those batteries is typically dependent upon how thick and how tall the grass is. So therefore, if I like to cut about every 7 days at most. Sometimes I slip up and I let it go to 10 or 11 days, maybe even 12 days. When I let it go to 12 days, I usually use at least 2 full 15 amp hour batteries to cut my half-acre lot. If I go 7 days and it's not too tall or too thick, one 15 amp hour battery can pretty much cover my entire half an acre lot. 12 amp hour batteries are somewhat similar. However, there is a little bit more, like you might end up using 12 amp hours, and then I might have to go grab a 6 amp hour in order to finish off just a very small part of the yard. The 9 amp hours, I honestly don't use them in this mower or in this tool at all, just because I know that I'm going to have to swap it out at some point. And to me, it's just sort of a nuisance to have to switch out batteries more than one time during a cut, so I just try to not do that. And then the 6 amp hours, like I said, the only time I would put a 6 amp hour battery in this mower is if I had exhausted bigger batteries and I just don't feel like using one of my 9 amp hour batteries. So I guess in application, basically what I do is I use most of my 9 amp hour batteries for my power tools, my drills, my miter saws, my circular saws, sanders, and things like that. So to talk about the actual cut performance and cut quality that this mower provides, it does have the 4-way blade system. So therefore, I think it does provide a pretty impressive overall cut. It's pretty clean most of the time. It really boils down to which one of the systems or which one of the 3-in-1 options that you're using. So you can either bag, you can mulch, or you can discharge from the side of the mower. I have come to realize that I only want to bag with this mower because that's pretty much the only way that you're going to make sure that all of the grass clippings get picked up and done away with. If you mulch while the grass is just a little bit too tall, it does have a tendency to leave some residue or grass residue on the sides of the mower, so that's just kind of annoying. And of course the side chute just shoots the grass out, which is such a, I don't know why they even made that an option, because it doesn't discharge like a normal gas power mower does. It kind of discharges really clumpy amounts of swaths of grass kind of everywhere. And so if you side discharge, it's just a mess. So I used it as for the video's sake, just to demonstrate what it looks like, but I actually immediately went back and tried to clean all that grass clipping up, because it's just not my thing. But the bagger is 90% great. It says that it fills to 94%, which it does, but when it does fill, it gets clogged in the back. When it gets clogged in the back, then you get the grass residue on the sides. So you kind of, stuck with, having to understand exactly when that bag is getting close to being full, so that you can go ahead and empty it, so that you're not kind of having to go over certain areas more than multiple times just to clean up grass clippings. So the mower itself weighs 77 pounds, and then you can add a couple of pounds for each of the batteries. So of course the 15 amp hour battery is going to be significantly heavier than any of the 12, 9, or 6 amp hour batteries, but it doesn't, I don't think that it really adds enough weight to really, for anyone to notice the additional weight. So I actually went with the push mower and not the self-propelled version, because I wanted it to be lighter and more maneuverable, and I think that was accomplished. One question I'd like to answer is, would I buy this mower again? I would say resoundingly yes, even with the warranty issue. Because DeWalt has always taken care of me on warranty issues. I've warrantied out 4 or 5 different Flexvolt batteries over the years, and there has never been a problem with them even asking me too many questions about what's wrong with the battery. I just tell them, hey, my battery's not working. I give them a receipt, or I give them a date code, and they send me a new battery. Another question I want to answer is, do I recommend buying it for you perhaps? That's a loaded question, and I think it really boils down to how much yardage you have. If you have less than an acre, then yes. If you have more than an acre, get yourself a 0 turn. And that's not necessarily this mower itself. It's just a factor of how large your yard is, really. And then also it comes down to if you already own Flexvolt batteries or not. If you already have a couple of 15 amp hour batteries, absolutely. If you have at least a couple of 12 amp hour batteries, absolutely. If your first 2 Flexvolt batteries are going to be the 2 9 amp hour batteries that comes with the mower, and you have more than a half an acre, I don't know that I would recommend that you make this particular purchase. I don't think it's a bad purchase. I just don't know that I would want to wrestle with having to utilize only 2 batteries to cover a half an acre of yard, especially if the yard is thick or tall. You are going to run into some major battery drainage issues, to the point where it's just going to become frustrating to have to swap out the batteries, and then once you've exhausted both of the batteries, now you got to wait for the batteries to charge. And to me, there's no bigger pet peeve than having to cut a part of the yard and then wait an hour or 2 before I can cut the rest of the yard. Alright, so if you've made it to this part of the video, I just wanted to take time to say thank you for taking your time and watching. I hope you were able to gather some good information, especially if you're in the market for a new mower, specifically a DeWalt mower for that sake. As always, if you found any good information or good value in this information, please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment. Any questions, causes, or any questions or concerns are welcome. I would love to talk and gather feedback and open the line of communication. So as always, thanks for taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you on the next one.